Hi everyone, welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
And you can tell from those dulcet tones, we are going to talk about Arrow Season 4, Episode 18. It's called 11:59. Full spoilers, as always. You know, last week was a terrible episode, right? But last week was at least laughably bad. Like, we could.
At least they gave us enough B puns to go around.
Yeah, we had B puns, and Connor's more drunk than usual, by the way. You can probably hear that in his voice.
This was so bad I needed alcohol so much.
And and I said full spoilers, but I'm warning you again before I talk about the last thing first. Laurel is dead. She dies in this episode, and I am filled with a very interesting mix of no emotions. Um,
Best description I've heard yet.
Although I did have a moment of happiness in the initial stabbing.
I mean
Mainly,
the satisfaction that Laurel was finally dead and she was getting what she deserved from 3 seasons ago.
pretty much. Well, yeah, pretty much. A lot of people seem to like Laurel for some reason, but I've hated her the entire time in the show.
The thing
Laurel,
is, people like Laurel because she's Black Canary, and Oliver should be with like Green Arrow should be with Black Canary. And I agree with that. It just so happens that Katie Cassidy's a fucking shit actress, and she was shitely written the entire time she was on this show.
I mean, I'm not even going to talk about her acting because I'm not even convinced it is an acting thing. It could just be the writing.
I mean, yeah, okay, granted, it
Um,
could be, but she's never pulled off a single line that they've given her.
um, but Laurel in season 2 was fucking like absurdly awful. Her plot about being addicted to pills and crashing the car
Oh, I
and
forgot about that.
go,
Christ, that was dreadful.
going to AA meetings, all of it was awful.
See, the
Um,
thing was, like, at least at that time, like, Quentin had that arc. Like, he was the one with the addiction. And then they kind of gave it to Laurel as well. It was like, why are we having two people with this arc at the same time? We've already got one doing it well. Or at least better, if not well. Depending on your opinion.
I don't know. There was a lot of things in this episode that I just didn't care about. Like, so Laurel's death got nothing out of me. They're all crying, music's swelling up, and I'm just, who cares?
I literally saw beforehand over the last week or so, because we knew in advance this was the episode we were going to find out who was in the grave, that they've been teasing all season that no one actually gives a fuck about. But they've been teasing it and they've been saying people are going to cry. You fans, you're going to cry over this death. I was like, really?
With happiness, maybe.
Yeah.
That said, though, I didn't even care that much in a positive. It just kind of happened. I was like, I'm just kind of bored.
That's the thing. It kind of was just there. Like
I
it
feel
didn't
like
have any impact either way.
most of the episode was like that. Everything with Diggle's brother Andy, every part of that just bored the everlasting piss out of me.
The thing with that was it was like, okay, we know he's a traitor. We kind of got that from the reveal last week, and then they kind of tried to play it off like, oh, maybe he's not a traitor with the opening of this, and it's like, yeah, but we know he is. He's been a cunt all season. Of course, he's a traitor. You know.
It's just really dully written. Like, and there's certain key phrases that get used when a writer doesn't know how to write dialogue, and one of them is "I'm on your side." Remember, it's he says
Mm.
that line. Andy says that line to Oliver when he's like being interrogated or whatever, and that's one of those lines that just stick out to me. Is oh my god, you.
Can we go back to the positives for a second? Because there is one positive,
Oh,
and is the best line of this season yet.
oh, go on then.
And it's when Oliver says, "Sorry guys, there's something I haven't told you," and Thea goes, "Shocker."
Yeah. Well, we see it in the
It's so
flashbacks.
accurate.
It's the exact same goddamn totem that's given this other guy superpowers, and yet Oliver at the start of the season was shocked and appalled. What? This can happen? Even though 3 years ago it's well,
I
it
just
doesn't
think
matter.
that sums up this show in a nutshell. Thea going, "Wait, you lied to us? Oh, who would have guessed?"
Bollocks. I want to point out a couple of other things as well. So Green Arrow takes Black Canary to the hospital in full costume, both of them.
Mm.
And then he leaves. But obviously they have to undress her to do surgery and all that and what have you. So they're going to know who she is. So it's going to be public knowledge, or it should be public knowledge, that Laurel is Black Canary. Secondly, not that anyone who knows who Black Canary is has ever heard of her. Let's be honest.
Who gives a fuck?
When Flash asked Supergirl if she knew who Black Canary was, I just kind of laughed and went, "No, she may know who Felicity is, but Black Canary, not a chance."
That says everything about the show, where she might know Felicity more than Black.
Anyway, so they're going to know who she is, but then the entirety of Team Arrow is just there at the hospital. And first of all, the same nurse spoke to him, Green Arrow, when he was in costume, and is now seeing him as Oliver. She should clearly see that it's the same guy. It's really fucking obvious. Secondly, when she's lying in bed before she finally kicks the bucket, she asks Oliver to go and get something out of her pouch. And I'm like, so her costume's just sitting there.
It's the way she says pouch, not pocket. She goes, out of my pouch. It's like, oh shit, there's a costume just draped over the back of a chair like you would a pair of jeans.
Yeah, it's just sitting over there in the corner.
It's not even in the corner, that's the thing. He turns around and it's there, literally draped over the back of a chair like you would a pair of jeans.
And then,
it's like, what?
In time for her death, she brings up the fact that, their relationship, which has not even been mentioned in about 2 seasons, everyone's completely forgotten about it, no one cares. And she gets him to take out the picture, which they had in the flashback, so I suppose we have to give props where props are due. At least there was something in the flashback this week that was actually fucking relevant.
Do you know what, yeah, credit where it's due, like you said. We bitch about the flashbacks, and they were still shit, don't get me wrong, the flashbacks were shit.
Yeah, but Oliver shot more guns this season than he has arrows.
But they did thematically tie in, which is more than we can say for at least the last, 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah. At least, I mean, and you knew, because Hosby knew someone was dying, the moment he started talking about the photo, or the moment people started talking to her about what she should do, is like, oh, she's so dead.
Do you know what? It was kind of it was obvious enough from the start where she got the offer to be the DA and was like, okay, this is a Laurel episode. We know someone's dying this episode. This is probably her death.
But even then, there could be a swerve. But the minute he pulls out that photo,
it was still before that. It was when her dad started talking to her in the Chinese restaurant, and he was like giving her this really heartfelt one-to-one. He was like, she's fucking dead.
No, I agree. All these signs point to it. But when he pulls out that photo, there's not even a smidge. Even after that talk, there's a 1% chance even that she might not be the one. Right. But as soon as he pulls out that photo in the flashback and starts talking about her being the love of his life, which was not even heard, even though technically in all the flashbacks up until he comes back, he should feel that way, because that's how he starts the show.
I feel like we heard about it back season 1 and 2. I'd have bought this conversation because he kind of referred to Laurel a lot in the flashbacks, and even in the present day, he was kind of getting with Laurel.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the point, though. But the problem is that they kind of forgot about it in the flashbacks, and it just comes up randomly. And thematically, it ties in, but it just kind of made me realise, wait a minute, he should be still kind of like obsessing over Laurel for all the flashbacks up until he comes back, because he's still obsessed with her when he comes back. It's fine.
He went to China and worked for
Amanda Waller.
Thank you. I'm way too drunk.
Yeah. So bollocks to that. So she brings that up, and even though I might not be the love of your life, you'll always be the love of mine. For the next 30 seconds.
Fucking Christ.
Possibly.
I think it was the moment that, even if none of the rest of that had, nailed it in, as soon as she picks up the mask and goes, I'm going to do this one last time. It's like, alright, you're fucking dead as shit right now.
And you know something? We were joking throughout the episode that there was no Felicity, and then she showed up at the end, and I knew she would. I knew that when someone died, that was going to be when she.
Oh yeah,
she saw
there was no fucking way they could go an entire episode without Felicity. Right. This is the Felicity show. Let's be honest.
But honestly, I kind of missed her, and I'll tell you why. I will take Felicity's over-the-top, cheesy, bad dialogue over the bullshit Diggle drama and the bullshit. What else happened? Yeah, all the stuff.
All the Laurel bullshit.
Yeah, all the Laurel stuff. Because at least, I mean, they're both bad, but at least the Felicity one's kind of laughably bad. Where I'm kind of, when she's dropping bee puns and she's.
You can appreciate the humor of it. No, I completely agree. I hate Felicity now, and I used to be a Felicity fan. I used to think she was a pretty fun character. She would drop these quips and be like, "Oh, this is fun." Now I kind of hate her, but at least it's when she's on screen, there's energy. If that makes sense.
Yeah, normally, yeah.
Like when she's making quips, they're bad and they're awful, and you think her character's dreadful, but they're moving forward, and
But the
it
trouble is,
moves.
she fills all the dead air between all the other people's dialogue, and when she's not,
That's what it is.
and when
Yeah,
she's not there, they have to do it themselves. And hearing Oliver and Diggle and Thea and Laurel try and talk at length is mind-numbing, because the dialogue on this show is fucking awful.
well, that's what I said. My favorite moment was, Thea saying, "Oh, fucking shocker that Oliver lied to her," and that was in the first 5 minutes, if that. And and it was all downhill from that. Let's be honest. Oh no, I'm telling you a lie. The second best line, Dark in the prison. He was like, "Oh,
Oh, this was not good. No, don't you tell me this was the second best. This was terrible.
No, it was second best in the sense that it made me laugh of how bad it was. It's the same way Felicity, how you laugh at it.
Okay. So give us the pun. What did he say?
It's like, oh, you get it from the dark. It's coming from the dark. It's like,
Ah,
oh,
no, you've completely forgotten the line. You're too drunk. The line was, "You're like a father trying to protect your daughter from the dark." That was the line.
the rest of it doesn't matter. It's from the dark that matters. That's all that matters. That he said that, and you could hear him say it with the H in the dark as well. You could hear it. Ah.
All right, well that's Arrow. Let us know what you thought down below. Some people seem to like Laurel, so if you do, let us know if you're pissed at this above and beyond everything else.
I'd rather Felicity dead than Laurel, to be honest.
Nah.
I would, in the sense that at least Laurel's done nothing all season. She's been completely inoffensive until this episode. She's just been there.
My hatred for Laurel from season 1 and 2 is just too potent. I can't willingly say that I'd rather have anyone dead. Actually, that's the problem with this episode. Actually, when you really look at it, right? When you really look at it, season 2. If you go back to season 2 and ask me, what do you want in this show more than anything? I said, I want Laurel dead. Right? I should have been enthusiastic about this, and instead I was just bored.
That is the thing about this episode. Like, this is probably the most major episode of the season. It's the one that affects the show the most, undoubtedly. Yet it was easily the single most boring episode.
Yeah. Also, remember how Oliver could barely hold a fight with Merlin in season 1? Now Thea's taking him down with relative ease.
Yeah. I mean, we laughed when Oliver and Merlin had their duel and he chopped off his hand, and it was like, okay, this has got to be a ploy because this was too easy for Oliver. But Thea, come on, fuck off.
Yeah, that's Arrow this week. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching. We hate ourselves. Bye.